So it's Dave Lockwood. Hey, I'm up here on the bridge early in the morning. It's about 6 o'clock, I think. No, it's 5:45. Just checking out the new extra lanes we have here. Trying not to get hit. Some of these guys, yeah, I shouldn't be here for sure. All right, I'm gonna get off of here in just a second. What I would like to show you, and you can't really see too much out here. Okay, so anyway, we're gonna go down the bridge here. They got part of this finished up. This is the entrance to the bridge. Coming in on the Fort Myers Beach, it's got 2 lanes. I was watching on Beach Talk Radio. They were talking about everybody seems to think it's going to be better to have 2 lanes going off the island to help with the flow. I don't know. They spent a lot of money doing this. I hope that they actually use some technology, use some data to figure out if it's going to work or not. But it's pretty impressive. It's really impressive, actually. So I'm gonna hold on for a minute. I'm going about 30 miles per hour coming down the bridge. So you see they got the lights up. They still haven't, they got all the cones blocking off of the flow of traffic here. This is the new roundabout, which is really more like a kidney, but it's right by Margaritaville here, and we're all hopeful that it's going to ease the traffic off the island, make it a little bit better. If you've lived here a long time, you're pretty much, you're accustomed to traffic, period, especially during season. Out of season, it's almost like the residents here, or the long-term residents, full-time residents, we got this whole place to ourselves, which is really, really nice. That means you get into the restaurants immediately, you get good seating. You know, they got fewer servers on in that. The Whale there, they're cranking along there pretty far along. And I don't know, there's a lot going on here. The Lani Kai, I went in there the other day. The Lani Kai is really not really my favorite, only because there's most of the crime that we have coming out of Fort Myers Beach comes from there. Other than that, I mean, I think the facility's nice. I think it's college kid oriented, which, you know, is fine, especially if you're a college kid. The element that they've attracted to the beach on a regular basis has been a problem. They seem to have a different image going on now. I went up on their 2nd floor, and they have a cafe up there. And you know what? I thought it was really nice. It wasn't cheesy. It wasn't anything like that. It was pretty nice. And they actually served breakfast up there. So, being 6:15 in the morning, or actually 5:45 on the morning, you're not going to get a lot of light. Basically, you're seeing the amount of traffic that we get during the season, then the out of season coming onto the island early in the morning. So, some interesting tidbits. The town hall has been moved to the new building. They don't have everything open yet. I think the elevators are they're still having problems with the elevators. And now I'm trying to catch my breath, taking my big butt up that hill. I'm delighted to say I could do it, and it felt good, but I'm still catching my breath. So I had a friend of mine come down here And she hasn't been down here for a while. She's actually been on the island several times, but not driven. She hasn't driven all the way down the Estero Boulevard. And this is an outsider looking at what she's seen, and what she's seen versus what she's seen or saw, shortly after Ian, is significant progress. She says it looks really good, and that what she thinks what it's going to be is going to be incredible. So the reality of it is there's really not much we can do about this stuff at all. It happened. Ian, I hope, is that 100 or 500 year storm. So far, we're really early on in the hurricane season, but so far it's been pretty mild, which is good for those of us who have houses here and have ground level houses. And we're just hoping that it's going to be another 100 years before we get another one of those devastating blows like that. So what a situation. You had Hurricane Ian came in, and then very shortly after that, Hurricane Idalia touched on us. And then right after that, Hurricane Debbie threw us some storm surge. And then Helene came through, and we had enough storm surge that it was going over the whole island again. It didn't create as much damage. And then Milton came in, and it was just enough to get in a lot of houses again. And that was very discouraging. So in the course of 30 months, we literally got 5, not hurricane direct hits, but 1 hurricane direct hit by Hurricane Ian. But we got the effects of a total of 5 hurricanes. And what I mean by that is we got the outer bands, and we got the weather that was directed at the shore here and was pushing water up and over our island. Now, what's happened since then? What's going to change any of the outcomes in the future? Well, one thing that's happened is they have a 6-foot berm all the way down the island. Now, if you ask me why it's a 6-foot berm, I'm going to tell you I don't know. But I'm going to tell you, as being a civil engineering dude from the Air Force, they don't spend that kind of money for no reason. So somebody said, 6-foot elevation keeps the storm surge off the island, under normal circumstances. So you've got that all the way down the island. There are parts of it I've seen that are not at the elevation, but maybe those could be patches that are made a little bit later on. The beach renourishment, wow, what a big deal. They literally are still at it. They were hoping they would be out of here by May, which is when the turtle season starts. And by the way, we have tons and tons and tons of turtle nests on the beach. Some of them in this one area, there was like 10 of them right in a row. It's kind of interesting to see. So the beach renourishment guys are still here. They're working just a little bit north of where Beach Baptist used to be, or where Connecticut Street is. And they're rolling up the pipe little by little, pulling it back down the beach. They still have their rig. It's about 1.5 miles off the shore, and they're still sucking up the sand from the bottom of the Gulf of Mexico. And if you're a diver, if you're wondering about that, you're thinking, boy, they're tearing up the ecosystem. Yeah, ideally we wouldn't be messing with it at all. But in this situation, if you look, or if you dive around here, you would see that it's pretty much like a watery desert down there. There's nothing down there. It's just a sandy bottom. Now, sand dollars and certain types of marine life do live in any environment, but it's probably as least invasive as we can be, needing what we need to protect this island from the future hurricanes. So the amazing thing of this Osmo 3 that I have is my light is, I have a 900 lumen light on my bike, which is equivalent of a high beam. And even with or without that light, the Osmo is able to pick up so much, even though it's dark out. It's pretty impressive. So I just tried kicking it back on. It's just not going to work. I didn't have it charged enough. So anyway, I'm halfway up the island. For me, this is a 12-mile bike ride. I would prefer to be on the beach right now, but if I was on the beach, I would be risking interfering with turtles coming in, and I might scare them off with my light. Also, it's treacherous when you can't use your light because, you know, people dig holes in the sand, and you hit one of those and sheesh, it's like hitting a brick wall, you know. So, anyway, okay, let's talk about the other end of the island. The bridge, dude, they are kicking butt. They have gotten so far on that. It's become pretty obvious to me that they're going to be closing that end of the island off here shortly. I just don't know how they can tie it in without doing it. But they're pretty close. They're on the last span. They're putting in half of the wall to land half of the last span. And then if you look at the direction of it, I'm going to use that as the thumbnail for this video, and you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see that the spans land the next set of spans is, you'll see where they're going to go to that wall. And then the next set of spans, they're going in and they're going to tie into the street. So I'm not sure how they're going to do that, if they're going to do it with dirt. They're probably just going to do it with dirt. I doubt very much they're going to put any more spans out there. But they're preparing it. They're getting there. But if you live here on Fort Myers Beach, you might as well prepare yourself. It looks like we're going to have to drive all the way around. If you're doing business in Bonita, you're going to have to drive all the way around for a period of time. There ain't no getting around it. That's my opinion, so I'm going to find out. Talked to Ed Ryan. He called and asked them what was going on with that, and they wouldn't give him an answer. And that's because they don't want us to get any input on it. They just want to, like tomorrow, everything's going to be closed for whatever length of time, and they don't want us to interfere with it, with their schedule. So that's what experience tells you as a contractor, being a contractor. So what's going to happen is they're going to give us a week's notice and say, hey, you're going to have to drive all the way around for a month or 2 months or 3 months. I don't know how long it's going to take, but they are cranking on that bridge though. If you look up on the bridge, you can see they've got the bridge poured most of the way. They've got the barriers that you put on each side of the bridge. They've got those pretty much, they got all the rebar in place, and they've got some of them poured. So it's pretty far along. They're actually painting the bottom, the columns. I think like half of them have been painted, which is a process. I mean, they grind the concrete, they smooth it out, make it pretty, put some acid on it to get the paint to hold, and then they're painting them brown. Looks pretty good. We're gonna have quite a bit of parking underneath that bridge. I remember, if my memory serves me right, I remember that there's going to be additional parking here for Lover's Key. So this may end up becoming a second park entrance, or they may move the park entrance over here. I don't know. Whatever makes sense. I know that typically the state parks are understaffed, and having 2 entrances might be a problem. I don't know. So, so that's some big news right there. The rest of the island, as you can see as we're riding, it's pretty clean. They're keeping up with stuff. They're kind of pushing people to get their trailers and stuff off the island. FEMA doesn't want these projectiles or floating projectiles to be all over the island in case we get a hurricane. They've been staying on that pretty good. Notice that there's very few shipping containers sitting on the island. I also noticed on the last event, the dumpster companies, the equipment companies, and everybody else got their stuff off the island. So like when Milton came through, Helene came through, you didn't have nearly the amount of damage to equipment and cars that you did when Ian came in. When Ian came in, we all got caught with our pants down. We didn't realize the effects of something like that. And you know, the reason is because, you know, you're in the crosshairs, then you're not. You're in the crosshairs, you're not. You're going to get hit by the hurricane, then you're not, and so on and so forth. And everybody spends money and time and effort, misses work and stuff like that to get prepared, and then it doesn't hit. So, and that happens multiple times. And then what happens is it sets us up for the perfect negative scenario, which is Hurricane Ian coming in, nobody believing that it was going to hit here, and you know, 10 feet, 14 feet of storm surge on the whole island. My house got 6 foot of water in it. My floor elevation on my house is a 10, so that's my elevation on my floor. All my neighbors, you know, 50% of my street was torn down, and there's three houses. Yeah, 3 houses that have been, 2 houses that are almost done, one that's just starting. Actually, 3 houses that are almost done, and one that's just starting. And they're monsters. They're building some really big stuff. So I guess this is going to look more like, Naples or other areas that have been hit over and over and over. I remember being in Isle of Palms, South Carolina. I think it's South Carolina. And I was looking at these houses, and they're like 15 feet up. Some of them 17 and 20 feet up. And I thought how ridiculous that was. And we don't have those elevations here. Our flood elevation is the one that I've seen the most is 11. So 11 feet to the bottom of your mechanicals on your house. So wherever your HVAC system, your floors, all that stuff has got to be to the bottom of that. So that is a number. It's a big number though. If you look over here at this White House here, I don't know if you can see it or not. They got lights and stuff working back on here. They got the crosswalks put back in. They're putting in the turtle lights right now. They got a whole new set of poles that they're setting on the whole island, and they're going to have the red lights on them, or the turtle lights, so that the turtles are not getting misinformation and confused and ending up over here on Estero Boulevard. So the beach renourishment, let's talk about that again. Okay, in front of Leonardo Arms, which is on the south end, I believe that was the first big development on the island from a documentary that I watched. And they literally had water splashing underneath that. They had Gulf of Mexico or Gulf of America water flowing underneath their building. And at this point, they got, looks like I'm gonna have to get off of here. At this point, they got, I don't want to come off here too quick. Knock this camera right off. Okay, so basically they had water going underneath their building and undermining the footers. So they got an emergency approval to put a seawall around it, and that protected it long enough for them to go ahead in the beach renourishment plan. They put the 200 or 300 feet of sand back in front of that building. So when that building was built, there was 300 foot of beach in front of it. And now today, as we speak, there's 300 foot of sand in front of it again. So all this stuff, the increased elevation that the beach renourishment gave the whole beach, we should be having, when we're having these storms, we should be interacting with them further away from the Estero Boulevard and further away from all the buildings. In other words, everything got pushed back out. And it's, the sand is deeper, thicker, it's got higher elevation, it's got the 6 foot elevation all the way down, and should make a big difference. So now when you're talking about, let's talk about some other things going on. The Wyndham's gone, and Watco did a great job. It looks great. He didn't do it overnight, but he did it, and he did it right. It looks good. Their equipment's still sitting here. They may be turning around. I heard they're putting in a pool, kind of like what Margaritaville has, which would be very nice for this end of the island. Because at this point, all the places to stay that were like hotels and stuff like that are all gone. So there's really nothing like that here. And there's really no tiki type bar out here like they have at Margaritaville, and like they have like the open air stuff. There's really nothing like that right now. Now let's talk about Santini Plaza. Santini Plaza is so these guys I got the bike and they're high beaming me, I high beam them back. So I don't know. At any rate, so we'll cruise through Santini Plaza real quick. So Surf Style put their facility down here. They put a 20,000 square foot store at this end of the island. All right, I'm a businessman, so I guess keep my mouth shut. I just hope they make it. Let's put it that way. That's a lot. They're back in business too quick. So CVS is open, the 7-Eleven's open. They're digging and putting in the tanks at the 7-Eleven down there by where Junkanoo used to be. By the way, Fresh Catch and Junkanoo bought out the bistro, and they're behind Publix now. So this is Santini Plaza. Again, this is 6 o'clock in the morning. This is Santini Plaza. That's 7-Eleven over there. And then I'm gonna drive through here and show you what's here. So you've got Santini Plaza's got the Surf Style. And then they've got the liquor store. You see the liquor store. Okay, then Ace Hardware's here. And that's Gavin from the other end of the island, right off the island. Storage units open. Sweet Licks. I came by here the other day. I was scared to death that they are closed down already. So I don't think they are, but it's going to be difficult for these businesses to survive long enough for the island to recover, because there's a lot of stuff down here that's still sitting empty. So this is Liani's. This is what's her name? She used to be the mayor. I can't think of her name. But at any rate, this is her place. She had 2 places down in Times Square, and they both got creamed. So this is her being back in business. Anita is her name. Okay, and then you've got the Badass Coffee is down here at the other end. This is the Freaky Boutique. There is a, they're working on a pizza joint. They've been working on it for quite a while. It looks like they're starting to put the windows and stuff back in. You can see what's going on in there. Yeah, they're just not working at a feverish pace. This is the Royal Shell, and they're waiting, of course, to come back in here until there's enough business down here. A lot of these buildings, look at them, there's no lights on. They're still not open. So these are empty units right here that are still up for lease. And then you've got the Badass Coffee is open. And they got this really cool looking little VW Bug. Antique that looks like a 69 or something like that. But anyway, this is a really cool place. It's really nice. It's a nice addition to our beach. They seem to be pretty busy. I hope they're busy enough that they can make it until this island recovers. The marina back there, every time I go back there, you won't be able to see it very well right now. Every time I go back there, it's in better and better condition, cleaned up more. There was a rumor that they tore down the restaurant that was back there, and I came back here and took some video of that and showed them that it did not get torn down. Pinchers is, the rumor is Pinchers going to go in there. It used to be called, let's see, oh gosh, can't remember what it was called. Sorry guys. So, but it was very, very nice, very beautiful, very colorful, nice view of the marina. And for us at this end of the island, you know, a little more spice. So right now, I mean, I eat all the different places here, but Flippers has been my go-to in the out of season because I get right in and everything, and it's nice view. And most of the time you do get to see some dolphins running around there. It's kind of cool to see the boat traffic going by. It's a parade. And then you've got Fresh Catch, which is behind Publix. You've got Junkanoo that's down below that. And nice. That is Snook Bite Marina behind the Publix. So that's pretty much all that's down in this end. So several of these buildings, maybe I think 2 of them are not being worked on at all, or practically at all. I don't see anybody working on them. This is one right here. This is called the Marine. Let me see what it says. It's called the Mariners Boathouse. And there's that same exact sign up in Cincinnati. I wonder if the same people own it, but they don't seem like they're working on that. This one here, the lights are back on, but doesn't look like it's being worked on. You notice there's no vehicles in the parking lot. Well, there's one. And the work day for these guys has started already for a lot of them. This building here, unoccupied, they're still working on it. There's a whole bunch of them. This one right here, they got it all back together, and they got hit again by Milton, and they're back together again. So that's a timeshare situation right there. We tore down the one behind that. There was 30 units over there. It's Remove It Pros Demolition. So some things going on with us at Remove It Pros. We do everything from junk removal to tearing down buildings. We repurpose a lot. We put stuff back into the environment. If it's in good enough condition that it can be repurposed, we're doing that. We have a shop over in Bonita called Reuse It Pros. It's open to the public. You can find everything we have online at www.reuseitpros.com. And you go there, hit the button, and it'll put you on the Craigslist, and you can see everything that we have. We normally have 25 sets of kitchen cabinets, used ones, secondhand ones. Normally very good condition coming out of these high-end properties that are only used seasonally. We have, you know, at any given time, we have between 25 and 30 refrigerators. We have tons of stoves, built-in ovens, built-in double ovens, hurricane windows, lanai, roofs. I mean, everything you could possibly think of, honestly. Leftover building materials that we get from these jobs when they're finished up. Granite tops, vanities, vanity tops. Oh geez, probably have about $500,000 worth of inventory over there at any given time. So you're welcome to come over and visit anytime you want. It's open 7 days a week, 7 to 5. And again, it's basically an online store. We put all the details on the listings. We put what condition, what defects everything have, the dimensions, what they are, and you pretty much can make a decision and just drive over and pick it up. So it makes it really easy. Been doing this for a long time. We have a 4.9 Google rating, which if you're dealing with used stuff, having a 4.9 is quite an accomplishment. So that's just us doing good business. So we got that, and then I have a book out on how to do junk removal, Junk to Millions. It's on Amazon, Junk to Millions. Dave Lockwood's the author. That's me. And we have a free course we just put out. It's one of our detailed courses on how to do junk removal a different way. The way that we approach junk removal and the way that traditional junk removal is done is pretty different. So this is me. I live here on the island. This is my home, my dream. I ride my bike up and down this island, you know, probably every other day. You might see me riding around on it. I'm on a 3G fat tire bike, generally playing my music if I'm not filming. And by the way, this building right here to my right just got the lights on. They've not been on for long, so, and it's starting to look like they've got it underway. This building here at the end, I think it's called Land's End is the name of it. They've been pretty much open since they were on it, let's put it that way. This white building over here to my left, when I turn the corner here, actually I'm gonna run up here. I'm gonna let you see what I was talking about the bridge. So hopefully I can get in and out of here and not get myself in a pickle. So as you come up to the bridge, you see what I was talking about. Somebody's rocking their music. So you can see what's going on, okay? You see it? So, and this is the bulkhead. So, and then what they're gonna do is dive into the street. And I'm pretty sure that they're gonna block us off for a while. So, I'm gonna duck around here one more time so hopefully you can see this. All right, you see it? See those? See the edges of that bridge? Well, that bridge is going to dive right into this road right here. I don't see how they can do it I'm a general contractor. I don't see how they can do it without shutting off the road. So the question is how long? And for me, I want to scream, because it takes me 15, 20 minutes to get to Bonita. It's going to take an hour now. So I don't know what, I want to cry, but at any rate, it's all good. It's just life. Can't take it too serious. So, all right. So there's so many new houses being built right now. A lot of them are complete. Our 3rd year anniversary is coming up in just a minute. It'll be September. This is the end of, well, this is probably August 1st. So this house right here, this thing got wiped away. I almost bought the house that was here when I bought my house. It was a pretty cool house. So this one just sold for practically nothing. They got a great deal on it. Can't wait for the market to get its wheels back on. As soon as they get the rates down, it'll take off again. It's a cycle. So these guys right here renting this one for like 10 grand a month. They rebuilt this one to the left. So, all right, that's it. We put some rocks on each side of his mailbox to keep running it over it. My neighbor here is getting ready to put in their house. So we cleaned off all the trees and the rest of the parking pads and stuff for them, and then they brought somebody else in to do the lot clearing. And you can see it right here. They're gonna put 10,000 square foot on one floor. This lot right here just sold for $450. This house right here, the blue one, just sold for $430. The blue house around the corner sold for $600 right before Hurricane Ian. And this is the view that I didn't pay for. Isn't that beautiful? So this house right here, Potter put this in. They are saying they'll be done in November. This White House over here, they're saying they'll be done in November. That's Wyndham from out of Cape Coral. And they're building one next door to me as well. And that's pretty much it. So